can avoid confrontation as much as possible if you can. So something that, this is my point of view, okay? There is no written rule. So something that you should consider as a tenure faculty, tenure track faculty. And for the scholarships, I recommend you to find collaborator, a mentor. I know it's easier to said than done. I recommend you to find mentor, not just within your university. You know, mentor could be a senior mentor or someone who just received promoted to associate professor. You could have a multiple mentor. You could have external mentor as well. So I recommend really to find collaborator because it's hard to do everything by yourself. Okay. Also, there are a lot of funding available for interdisciplinary research. So I recommend you to find collaborator to work together, and especially find a collaborator who has a lot of experience in publication and also writing proposals and things like that. So try to nowadays a lot of universities are looking at the impact. Of course, I'm not talking about top tier university, but there are other second tier university looking at the impact of journal and conferences. So my view is instead of trying to meeting the your university expectation, maybe try to reach higher than that. So when other universities look at you and they might want to hire you, you shouldn't just focus on your university college expectation. Try to reach higher than that if it's possible. Okay, and think about your research team. Focus, like I said, focus research, not dispersed, and collaborate with the senior experienced grant recipients if you can. So, so it's important to have a collaborator, mentor. Looking into publishing very impactful journals and conferences. All those things are important. You won't be going to the conferences. You'll be meeting a lot of different people. Try to establish yourself in the particular research area. All those things are important. At the end of the day, when you get to the tenure and promotion decisions, you need to submit 4 to 10, it depends on which university, names and contact information to evaluate your scholarships. And a condition is, they never publish any article with you, and you never received, and you never submitted a proposal together. So it can be very challenging and difficult, and they have to be tenure professors, okay? And it could be easy to find, but sometimes it could be very challenging if you're going for full professor. It's especially challenging. So, make sure to get to know research and faculty from the past conferences. And so one thing that I wanted to point out that it benefit me was there are a lot of Korean American professional societies. If you haven't looked into it, I really recommend you to looking into Korean American Professional Society. And so Korean American, we have especially KAUPA too, have a very talented faculty from a big name school. So when you submit the name, it's a more impactful name will be better. But one of the concerns that you should think about is if you submit a name from Carnegie Mellon University, one of the famous faculty as an external evaluator, he doesn't know you, and his point of view of scholarship will be different from from your university. Of course, when they submit your package and letter to Carnegie Mellon University or other big name university, there's a one pager indicating that describe your characteristic and describe the characteristic of your university. For example, this university, A university, has been a teaching university. Teaching load is 6 courses per year. That kind of source indicate that help them to create what kind of expectations they should be thinking about when they're evaluating your scholarships. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's better to submit more important names. This person never worked with you, but he or she knows you. Okay, you can find that in here, Korean American Society. And next question is, how can I find the Korean American Professional Society? So, and there's a list. If you go to a KACA organization here, I shown it here. There's a KACA affiliated professional society. I'm sorry to say this is all science focused. I'm not sure about music and other areas. I don't know where you could find, but you should Google it and try to find the Korean American Professional Society. I'm sure there are a lot of them out there. There's a neuroscientist, physicist, life science. All of this resources are available for you. So because you get to know, you can help you to get into collaboration, career advices, and help. They can help you to write external tenure recommendation letter, also external tenure scholarship evaluation. If they work with you, they cannot do this, but they have worked with you, they can write recommendation letter for you at least, okay? For the teaching, they're looking for positive trajectory. They don't expect to have a superstar in the beginning. They would like to see a positive trajectory in the teacher performance, but try to be transparency. I'm sure, same here. I'm sure, when I was teaching a new course, I had some bump. You can justify in your dossier, why you had a bump, okay? I would recommend you to create new courses if you can in your area. Those students can help you in your research. Keep your course content current by updating. Also, you should consider including different teaching strategies like student learning and the online teaching. I forgot to finish it here. On some college and university look for broad teaching capability, undergraduate, graduate, and some colleges and universities don't care. You should look into that. And services, variety service, professional, university level, college, department level. One thing that I learned is that don't just list the, committee that you served, and include your contribution impact. It doesn't have to be a paragraph. It doesn't even have to be a sentence. Just as a little below, couple of words, what contributed in developing some policy, things like that. So they know what you did, okay? So, expand your professional services, especially as a program chair, publication, other services, make sure you include that. That will certainly help you. So next I'm going to I'm trying to finish quickly here, preparing your tenure and promotion dossier. And, read and follow your college, especially your college guidelines and rules, okay? Because the college guidelines and rules continually changing, right? I'm not talking about the expectation. They're going to look at your offer letter for your expectation, but the guidelines and rules are continually changing. For example, they're looking to have maybe at 5 external candidates you need to submit. Now you have to submit 10 external candidates, and they're going to pick 6 from there. It changes. So, make sure you follow the college guidelines, talk to the department chairs, or talk to someone who went up last year, and talk to that person, And I'll recommend you to ask them, can you share your dossier with me? And more than likely they're willing to do that. Okay. Also, you should know what should or should not include in your promotion dossier. And I've seen some cases they're including all the emails they wrote because, I mean, to me, it did not make sense. It kind of irritated the committees. So providing a lot of material, quantity-wise, it kind of irritates them. It's very important to organize really well in such a way that the committee member can find all the material very easily. Okay, so accuracy and precision and diligence is important, because when I'm talking about accuracy is that whatever you said in the CV, whatever you said in the scholarship statement, teaching statement matches the CV. For example, in CV, you indicated that in 2019 you made 6 publications, but when you write the statement, you indicated you submitted and you got accepted maybe 4 publications. It doesn't match. Then they're going to get into more detail, especially the funding part. Okay, especially the funding part, and there's a mismatch in numbers, and committee could get they might not take it lightly. Okay, so start early on dossier, beginning of summer. Consult at all stages of dossier with your mentors, if it's possible, and work with your mentor, especially the recently tenured faculty. He or she knows of the expectation from the college and university level. And also, it's good to have a senior faculty because he has a wisdom. He knows a lot of people. He knows all the decision maker within the colleges and university. How things runs, and he could help you. Okay. And also, I don't know if this is possible in your university or not, but whoever representing you at the tenure committee plays a very important role. Okay, he or she should able to represent you strongly. That he or she should plays a very important role. So it's good to explain your dossier with the committee representative from your department before committee service begins. I don't know if this is legal or not, but at RIT, also I was able to do it. What I mean is that the committee, tenure committee representative, work starts in September, for example. I could meet with the person maybe in the May or June or July, and go over very high level material so that he or she could have an understanding on my scholarship. Having a representative, that doesn't mean he or she has a good understanding, because he or she could be, scholarship will be focused on different area. So he or she may not know the impact of your scholarships, right? Whether it's submitting a certain conference, a publication in certain journal, he or she may not know the impact. So explain it to them, about different, impact of your material. I'm talking about scholarship, teaching, and the service as well. Okay. Be transparent in your dossier. Don't expect community to know your contribution. If you don't list it, they're not going to know it. Okay, don't expect them to know if you don't list it. So add all your contributions, scholarship, teaching, and service. That's what I'm saying is that in your service, don't just list the committee, what committee you served. Put a little parentheses of what you did. Short, not even a sentence, couple of words, they'll help a lot, actually. Okay. And also what portion of the funding is your part, that's important. And also show consistency, accuracy throughout the different sections. They will make it really strong. Okay. And that's my quick presentation. Here's a little article about it. And I'll just, Professor Gang, do I just open up to rest of the?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your presentation. So now we are open to everyone. So anyone who has a question, just feel free to unmute your microphone and then ask, or you may use the chat box. So either way. Or any other comments or any, anything.
So, Dr. May I ask a question? My name is Jin-Suk Roh at the University of Houston. Thank you, Dr. Roh, for the presentation. The one question is about like being independent in my research field. So my research is very interdisciplinary and very collaborative in neurorehabilitation, neuroengineering. So I'm working with multiple collaborators, and I found that some of my publications seem to be more like a collaborative in the way that I would become the second last author as a co-corresponding author. Do you think having this kind of co-corresponding authorship, not as the last author, but the second last authorship, would that be also counted as like an independent publication? What do you think?
Okay, I'm not referring to just one publication, and I'm referring to overall scholarships. Okay, it's okay to have a last author, next to the last author. I've seen some cases, tenure faculty, he or she doesn't have a first author paper, but second author and third author. So they're looking at the overall themes as an interdisciplinary. I'm sure you have your theme. For example, I'm doing an IoT security, and I apply IoT security in many different applications. That doesn't mean that applying in healthcare or finding manufacturing. I'm not a manufacturing expert, a healthcare expert. Just technical IoT security just apply there. So my theme is IoT security. So I think it's very important to explain that. It's how you explain that in your scholarship statement, how you create the picture. So that's very important when you submit your dossier. So what year are you right now?
I'm finishing my second year.
Oh, second year. Oh, okay. Okay. Certainly you should think about that. So you're not at the 60th year. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yes, kind of.
Okay.
When I talked with my departmental mentor, he said that the co-corresponding authorship would be totally fine. They could be counted as like a last author paper. But I just wonder if that is kind of dominating at the stage of the tenure review. I just wonder whether that would be negatively viewed as a lack of independence.
I mean, or any other here attendees in the meeting today who are in the same field with here the questioner, then you can just jump in and answer the question as well.
Yeah. Professor Gam, do you have your perspective on her question? You're from Texas.
Yeah, I'm in the humanities, but
Okay.
I'm a quantitative researcher. I don't see any problem as long as you have a good record in research. Also, I mean, another question is like a quantity or quality. I mean, say you might have multiple publications in good journals, high impact journals, or I mean, many publications, but only one or two, which has a huge citations. I mean, I don't know how we can really balance between them, but I would say, if I would answer your question, I would say it wouldn't be any problems as long as you have a good research record.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Albert. I actually have a follow-up question regarding that. So I know we all need to publish many papers as possible. And then every year I publish 5, 6 journal papers. So we try to maintain the consistency throughout the years. But considering we are in a very difficult situation that you know, this year may be okay, but next year probably not because of COVID-19. Because I don't really, I mean, I'm very experimental, and then there's a very limited activity that I can do right now, and I don't expect I will publish one or barely publish one or two probably next year. Do you think it's gonna be concern to committee's view, and then is there a wise way to describe it when I submit my thoughts here?
Okay, Albert, would you mind sharing your what do you call it, research area and what you're in your tenure track?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry about that. So I'm in the electrical engineering. I'm making biomedical devices. So I work with clinicians and here and there. So I'm from Temple. I just finished my 3rd year. I'm coming up for 4th year.
Okay, okay. I mean, I can speak from RIT because this is, we're in a very unique situation right now. And, you know, we received, you know, emails from provost and our president. They seem to be very understanding. They are really considering right now, they are, well, I mean, we are not able to do, we don't have access to our lab, and especially, we're not able to do any types of experiment at this time. They understand that, and they put out the email saying that if you're concerned with the tenure, you know, they certainly understand, and that they can extend the year if, you know, if tenure track faculty choose to. So, you know, even, you know, the thing is that you might not be productive next year. I think that in the current situation, it's homogeneous. Not just you, everybody, including me and Professor Rowe and Professor Gang, is all impacted. They will certainly understand your situation. They should. So, but however, you know, you should do whatever you can at this time, maybe writing proposal to seek funding and in some other way.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, Professor Kim, have you talked to your department chair regarding this? I think they understand.
Yeah. Yes, I did. It's kind of a personal thing, but my relationship with my chair is not so good.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So he said a very similar thing. He recommended me to extend the 1 year on the tenure clock, so
Right.
which we decided to do. I think many faculty already done. So yeah.
So like one thing that I mentioned, relationship plays an important role.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, like I said, department chair especially plays an important role because he writes the recommendation letter. You know, try to establish a good relationship with them, if possible.
Right, but I think you mentioned one time in the presentation, you mentioned that if I need to step up, I should step up, and it was the case that they took away my lead in my 2nd year, so maybe I stood up too much. So
Okay.
that's the point, that relationship was not going well. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's kind of like personal thing, but
Okay.
that's what I
Yeah, I know it's hard because you know, I mean, you know, I know even me, you know, there are a lot of political, you know, situation here as well, you know, concerning the labs, and there are some cases, you know, faculty, you know, change the university, you know, going to other university. So it can be a very touchy situation. So you know, it's hard without knowing whole story. It's hard to I mean, you can contact me separately. We can discuss further. Okay.
Yep, I will do that. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone else here, tenured professors, you can please just to join, and you may provide your advice as well. So please, you may use the chat box to post your question or any comments and free discussion. You can share your experience or something that you've been wondering about, please.
The another thing is I would like to repeat that I have a post form here. Please fill out the form before you leave the webinar today.
Dr. Choi, our president, you might want to add something to us here in your, I mean, given your experience, you know, what worked, what didn't work, not only like for your tenure, I mean, it can also be with your promotion to full professor. So anything that you may just share with us.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. O and Dr. Kang, and to have this great opportunity inaugural kind of a webinar. I'm very excited because over 10 kind of dedicated KAUPA members joined this great presentation. So based on the content of Dr. Tom O, I've been thinking about my past kind of tenure and promotion experience. And in my case, like I was tenured at the third university. That means I moved twice. So I spent 6 years, and 1 year was extended, some kind of grace period. And the reason was like somehow it's, because of my family matters, like I should be able to explain my situation very clearly to the department, but the situation was tricky. The department chair was changed during my tenure process. So he did not know very well about my personal situation and all those kind of things. And I made the decision to spend 1 more year and searching around another university. And one of my friends suggested that, well, there are many universities and try to find the best university for you. And for 1 year, you can serve as a visiting faculty. So I accepted that, and finally I found my university, like my current university, Regent University, and I'm pretty happy now. And I learned that like we should be really open to all the possibilities, and if you have any concern in your mind, always you should express your opinion very clearly to your immediate boss and the college dean. So based on one's own personal character, especially Korean people, if you feel any difficulties, then you just try to solve it by yourself. But I found that it's not that great. So in America, so I want to recommend all of you, if you have any concerns, try to contact senior faculty members and mentors and good members of Korean American professional societies. That is the one. Number 2, try to maintain your resume very diligently. Try to record all the things you did, like in teaching and in research, and especially many service activities. In my case, I update my resume very diligently and create files and assign the date I updated my resume. That is quite good. And the number 3, it's very important to tell your working colleagues what you are doing. So your working colleagues and immediate boss and occasionally some department chair, even provost or any other people, then in the make of decisions such as the promotion and the tenure, and they were already exposed about your performance and what you did, and it's the chance of making an unexpected decision is very low. So nowadays it's very important to promote yourself by using many channels, such as like attending at many professional societies and try to create your own human network. So as the president of KAUPA, I've been thinking about this kind of idea. We have many specialty leaders, and we want to help out, especially junior faculty members. You know, how can you help out? We can have this kind of webinar, and also if they are at the stage of being promoted or tenured, then we can help you out, such as by writing a great letter based on your service performance and volunteering activities, and even academic, some kind of evaluation, such as evaluating your published papers or attending at seminars or some kind of meetings, and we can exchange kind of those ideas. So these are some of the tips I want to say to all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. So please, anyone else, if you want to, you know.
So like I said during my presentation, during your yearly performance evaluation, you kind of, you know, in our RIT, you know, they give a rating 1 to 5, 5 being excellent and 3 is average. For scholarship and teaching and service, you kind of have an idea, but it's good to have your tenure performance evaluation yearly based, indicating whether you're making a positive progress or not. That's why I indicated there's one section, you know, there's a check mark at making adequate progress or not. So again, I'm saying this because I've seen some cases on the 5th year, he's doing great, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year. And the last year, you know, because of the relationship matter, you know, the person maybe changes, decision, but it's hard to justify it because you've been doing great for first 4 years. So having that discussion, having that evaluation yearly, it can kind of build up your cases, and it will certainly help you later on.
Yes, please, anyone jump in.
Anyone has questions?
One more suggestion. So we can create a mailing list with all the participants, and we can exchange ideas later if you have any questions. Probably Dr. O and Dr. Kang can manage that kind of things. Thank you.
So another thing is I would like to mention that you know, some of us have a connection to KSCA, and you know, we could make a, you know, KAUPA is built such a way that we're here to help you to succeed. So even though I'm not in biomedical engineering or other area, we certainly can make a connection to help you, you know, find a mentor or possibly a, you know, collaborator for your, you know, funding as well.
I agree. I totally agree, because it's a huge network.
Yes.
KAUPA is full of network in all fields in the U.S. among Korean American scholars. So you can really benefit from this. I mean, as you can just ask questions or request some connections, then we are able to find somebody.
Right.
Definitely.
I've seen a lot of that, you know, my colleague, they're Chinese, they do really well. They help one another. And I believe we should have something, disorganized a mechanism like this. We should be able to do it. It's hard to survive or succeed by yourself. I mean, some of you will survive, you will thrive, do well, but doing it together, supporting one another, that certainly makes a lot easier on you.
I agree.
And also, if you want to search around any collaborators, try to write a brief article such as research in progress to introduce your research activities. And you can send it to me and I can publish it via KAUPA newsletter, which would be distributed to over 5,000 members. And we have many specialty leaders and try to contact any relevant specialty leader based on your research content. Just personally, I received a PhD degree as an interdisciplinary PhD degree in computer networking and telecommunications, 2 areas. So I know the difficulties of doing kind of interdisciplinary research. One of the most important thing would be trying to make a good research group, your own group. So you should attend many professional kind of webinars and conferences and become a member of a professional society such as KAUPA, KSCA, and Dr. introduced APS, Affiliated Professional Society. Then you can expand your own network and create your own research group. Yeah.
Okay, then I would say one last question. Now time is almost up, so anyone from the audience, just one last question, please. If not, it is likely that they were so satisfied, all of us, satisfied with Dr. Oh's presentation because that included very details on the dossiers and procedures of their tenure and promotion. So thank you. I mean, thank you for your time today. I would really appreciate that. We actually, personally, I did not expect that to have this many. We had over 18 participants today. Thank you so much. Hope you had some good takeaways from today's event. And so you can just use those for your own. And also we may plan here as a KAUPA, hope we may plan any future webinars with more topics, some collaboration, research related topics and those. So we keep working on it. So I appreciate all of you and also appreciate Dr. Choi, KAUPA chair, for allowing us to have this event, and Dr. Oh for your time and sharing your valuable information and your experience. So I would say here, have a good night. I mean, I appreciate your time. I can share this recorded video later on. So when you ask me. So thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.